Back with the Tennessee football edition of the Roundup. We have the first ever Q&A. Glad y'all could all join us here. Joined by Jay Gibson. How you do? I'm doing all right. But this is going to be our first time ever doing a Q&A with the audience and the internet. Y'all can ask anything you want, and we're just going to be talking Tennessee football. Don't shy from any questions. So let's take our first question. Jonathan Hewitt.
With the departure of Jalen Hurd and lots of injuries this season, does Vol Nation still believe in Butch Jones?
I think that's one for you.
Well, Tennessee didn't have the year that they were expecting to have this year, going 8-4. But I don't think a lot of it was Butch Jones' fault. When you look at the A&M game, turning the ball over 7 times and still having a chance to win, don't think you can put that one on Butch Jones. And late game interceptions in a couple of the games hurt us too. So I think it's kind of split half and half. I think some people still believe in him, but I think some people are ready for him to be canned.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I think, Tennessee had, 6 games through the year. They were 6-0, and then you play Texas A&M, and you try to overcome those 7 turnovers and almost win. And I think that momentum was killed right at the A&M game. And then the rest of the season, I think Tennessee was running on fumes with the injuries, with the, I'm not going to say lack of quarterback play, but inconsistency at quarterback. And I think that had a big part of the underachieving year of the Vols.
Definitely.
All right. Dindy.
When do you think the next time Tennessee will legitimately be able to contend with Alabama?
I think that's a question everybody in the SEC has to ask themselves right now. If you look in the SEC, can anybody contend with Alabama? LSU has the athletes too. They're the only one right now, but the quarterback plays about, scale of 1 to 100, it's normally about a 12. So I think you're always going to have a problem with them. And you look at the coaches right now in the SEC, and besides Saban, who's really proved himself as a great coach? The Big Ten has gotten Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh, Mark D'Antoni. They have a lot of great coaches, and I think that's why the Big Ten's kind of shifted to be more of a powerhouse conference. All right, let's take our first audience question from Periscope.
Okay, Jared 2019 asks, can Tennessee win the SEC East next year?
Well, I think next year Georgia's going to be looking a lot better with Eason being another year older and another year of experience. And Tennessee's going to look a lot different with still trying to decide who their quarterback's going to be. It's going to be a battle in the offseason. But I think they're going to have a serious chance to win the East with it being down like it is, because Florida is going to be Florida. Great defense, not a great offense. But I think it all depends on if Tennessee can beat Tennessee and Georgia again next year to see who's going to win the East.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. I think Georgia has to be, with the talent they're bringing back and the recruiting class they had this year, I think they have to be the favorite. I think Florida's going to be terrible next year. That's my opinion. I don't see them being the top 25 team. So I think, if Tennessee can get a proven quarterback, they can contend for the SEC East. Andrew.
What's your prediction of
LSU, Tennessee, I know that's late in November. LSU comes up to Tennessee. There's so many question marks right now for that game. It's just, who's LSU's quarterback going to be? Who's Tennessee's quarterback going to be? Is Coach O going to be able to motivate the players like he did this year? Is their new offensive coordinator going to be good? Is Tennessee's new offensive coordinator going to be good? So right now,
There's a lot of questions.
a lot of question marks. My prediction, I'll say Coach O screws it up and Tennessee beats them 31-28. All right, Jonathan.
Can you discuss the athletic director situation in Tennessee, please?
Now, athletic director. Now we could talk about this for about 30 minutes, but right now, the Tennessee athletic director search has went from a local search, you got David Blackburn, UTC's athletic director. You have John Gilbert, the associate athletic director at Tennessee, and you have Philip Fulmer, former Tennessee head coach, in the running too. Now, there's a lot of variables in play right now. You know, you got big boosters who don't want certain candidates. That's a problem. And then you have this new woman chancellor who, you know, I don't know if I can say this, but a lot of times, a non-attractive woman means she's probably liberal, and she's putting a lot of focus on academics. She doesn't want to pay for athletic directors, so you're not going to be able to get the athletic director you want, more than likely, in a national search. So I think they'll probably end up getting Fulmer or Blackburn, or a package deal. I think that'd probably be the best of both worlds.
Between those two, who would you rather have?
You know, Fulmer puts more of a focus on football, and if you know anything about athletic departments, football brings in most of the revenue. But I think from a complete whole point of view, I think Blackburn is, with the experience he has, already been in the athletic department at UT. I think he's the one you got to go with. All right, Periscope question.
Jared asked, who will have a bigger year, Tennessee football or Donald Trump?
Wow, that's a big question, Jared. Well, it depends on who you are. If you're a big Tennessee fan, then you're looking at Tennessee. Can they go 10-2? Can they go 11-1 and make it to the SEC championship for you? Because that's a big year if you're a Tennessee fan. Can they go 9-3 with how bad the East is? Maybe they can go 9-3 and make it to the SEC championship. And if Tennessee can do that, I think it's a bigger year for Tennessee football.
Well, I mean, who had a better 2016, Clemson football or Donald Trump? I mean, Clemson got, I don't know what you say to that. So if Trump can have half the year he had this year, I'd probably say he's going to have a better 2017 than the Vols. Jonathan.
Me and you've been discussing the amount of money brought in by different SEC teams. Why isn't Tennessee putting this money into use? You know, like Alabama's been in.
Jonathan.
What's Tennessee doing?
Tennessee's, I don't know what they're using it for. They just got new dorms. One's going to be an athletic dorm. I guess that, a little money's put to that. But when Alabama makes the second most revenue in the nation with 93 million, or 93 million, and they're using it for retired coaches to better their facilities, and Tennessee's third in the nation with 90 million revenue, and Tennessee's using it for academics, I guess.
Well, they do have a big stadium. Remodel coming up.
It is, but needs to be more of a focus on improving the department from top to bottom, in my opinion. Dindy.
Alright, so as a whole, would you say you were disappointed with the 2016 season? You got a bowl win, you beat Florida, you beat Georgia in an exciting game, and it's kind of an average year for Tennessee, but you got some good wins. Couldn't really expect much more from a poor program.
Well, I think it's safe to say most Tennessee fans have their hopes up. We were looking playoffs, SEC championship, beating Bama, going to Tampa. And when you go 8-4, when you're hoping for 11-1 in Tampa, you can't be satisfied. So I would definitely say that this was not a good year if you're a Tennessee fan.
I would say it's underachieving too, just because when you're a top 10 program and you're what Tennessee is, the benchmark is always making it to the SEC championship and beating Alabama. No matter how good or bad Alabama is, the benchmark's always going to be, can you beat Alabama? If you can beat Alabama, you'll be the Tennessee head coach until you pass away. But if you can't beat Alabama, then you'll be like Derek Dooley, or you'll be somebody like that who's there 3 years and shipped out.
Would you say it was an underachieving year, or would you say that at the beginning of the year, through week 6, the Tennessee fans just had their hopes up so high?
At that point, you got to think about all the other teams. I thought personally, besides Alabama and Clemson, this is kind of a down year for college football. So in my opinion, Tennessee had top 10 talent, and I think they underachieved, and I think the expectations might have been too high, but I still think being a veteran club that you gotta meet those expectations to some degree.
I don't think they underachieved because they didn't beat Bama, but I think the underachieving came when you lose to South Carolina and Vanderbilt.
Periscope question.
Bobby Jones has 2 questions. Max Schulman has 1. Bobby Jones first wants to know where you get your haircut.
Local Great Clips Creek Plantation in Hickson.
Okay. Second wants to know what happened to Josh Dobbs' eyebrows.
You know, some people are just attractive on the inside and have great personalities. That's all I got to say to that one. And then what's our other question from Max?
It's not there.
Where does the Championship of Life rank on the scale of Tennessee's achievements this year?
You start off that one.
No, you start off with that one.
Well, I'm a competitive human being. No one cares about being a champion of life, if we're being honest. And I think a lot of the Tennessee players were even pissed off when Butch Jones said that, because Tennessee was going into the season looking to go to the SEC championship and make it to the playoffs. And they went 8-4, and then Butch Jones says they're the champions of life. And if I'm on that team, I'm pretty upset that he says that. So.
You know what a championship of life would be for Tennessee? To beat Alabama by 49. If you beat Alabama, then you call yourself a champion of life. If not, just Butch, get a PR guy for you. Get somebody that tells you how to deal with the media, and then I think Tennessee will be better off.
So Butch Jones has had some good recruiting classes. It's all about collecting players. But when's he gonna stop pulling the "we're young" card and start putting the recruits, on the field and stuff?
Well, I think a lot of it is early in Butch's tenure. He sold early playing time, and a lot of the guys got it, and then the guys who didn't get it as freshmen just left because the guys in front of them were the same grade, same class. But now, as it's transitioning, some guys aren't, what Tennessee thought they were going to be, and I'm not going to say there's been some busts, but there's been some players who probably had too high of expectations, got thrown into the fire, and now those guys are juniors and seniors. A lot of injuries happen, but Tennessee still needs to establish the depth.
Yeah, I think injuries at the defensive line are crucial too, because if you don't have that strong force in the middle of your defense, then
to be a great team at SEC, you got to have a great D-line. Mm-hmm. And Alabama had a great D-line this year. Auburn had a good D-line, and LSU had a good D-line. And those were the 3 best teams in the SEC.
And I think that's something Tennessee can struggle with next year, because losing arguably one of the best defensive linemen to ever come through the university, who had the most sacks, beat Reggie White's record, and then is arguably going to be a top 15 pick. That's top some 10. Big shoes to fill.
Absolutely. You got to find those sacks somewhere across the line. Let's take 2 more questions.
Is Khalil McKenzie a bust, or is he a bust?
Khalil McKenzie, I think at the defensive tackle position, your value sometimes isn't translated by tackles or sacks. Can he take on 2 blockers and then make a play? I think that's more what it's about with him. Can he clog the hole?
I think if you're a defensive tackle, it's can you take up 2 blocks of play?
Yeah.
If you can get 2 blockers on you, I think you're doing a good job.
And I think for a lot of when he's healthy this year especially, I think he had a good year when he was healthy before he got hurt. All right, last question, Jaroslav.
There are a lot of comparisons about Josh Dobbs and Jalen Hurts. What's your opinion on it?
Well, to be honest, I think if Josh Dobbs is Alabama's quarterback, they win a national championship this year.
I think one thing you have to look at is Jalen Hurts was just a freshman. But out of this year's productivity, if you look at the stats, if you're just looking at the stats and you don't know what the team's records are, you're saying Josh Dobbs is the better quarterback. More yards, more touchdowns. Plus, let's not argue that Jalen Hurts didn't have one of the best defenses to ever step foot on a football field around him, and a great O-line with one of the top offensive tackles off the board that's going to be in the draft. And Josh Dobbs was struggling to not get sacked.
He was right. He was running for his life. If Jalen Hurts was on Tennessee's team, what would their record be, you think? Because I think they'd probably go 6-6. I don't think they beat Georgia.
I don't think they beat Georgia, or maybe not Florida. If you're down 21-3, I don't
With
think
the freshman
Jalen Hurts is
quarterback?
bringing that team back to beat Florida.
No. And that's what I would say. All right, Jay. Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
on the show.
Well, I got to.
At this time, we're going to transition to, again, our NFL predictions. Let's bring on Max Schulman. So last week, we did our predictions, and, not to boast or anything, or not to bring credibility to the show, but I went 4-0 and you went 3-1. So we had a pretty good week of picking. So let's just we're going to try to continue that with the championship round games. The first one being the Packers at the Falcons. What do you think on that game?
Packers, Falcons. Falcons, I mean, they're a different team this year. I mean, beating Seattle in the playoffs is something that you would not expect a normal Falcons team to do. But you got one problem, is Aaron Rodgers. He's playing at the highest level he may ever played at. And he's going to be probably a top 3 quarterback of all time. So, I'm sorry, Falcons fans, but I'm going with Aaron Rodgers here.
And as much as I've loved this Atlanta Falcons team and how young they are on defense and how fast they are, which I think could give the Packers some problems, Aaron Rodgers is playing at a level that no quarterback, in my opinion, has ever played at. He's a dual threat quarterback that has the best arm of all time, in my opinion. And I mean, the throw against the Cowboys is just a great example of why he's so good, frankly. So I would take the Packers. I would take the Packers to beat the Falcons. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's the all-time highest mark for over/under in a playoff game. I like the Packers 34-31.
I'll go 38-34 Packers. And also this news that Jordy Nelson had a practice where he practiced a lot more than he was last week. So I think it's going to be a game-time decision.
If he plays, that's huge for them. That's huge. For
He's
the
a
Packers.
big weapon for Rodgers. So.
And then the second game, we had the Steelers at the Patriots, and I'll go ahead and start this one off. Since from the national championship to the 4 games we picked last week to the first game that we just picked, I've taken the better quarterback in every game. But something's different about this game. For some reason, my gut's just telling me, go with Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers. And I know it's never smart to go against Belichick and Brady at home. But if any quarterback now in the AFC is going to go to Foxborough and beat the Patriots, I think it's Big Ben. And when you have guys like Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, who's the best running back in the league, no doubt, I think they get the job done, and I think they beat them. I think it's actually fairly low scoring. I like the Patriots. I meant the Steelers 21-16.
Interesting. Tom Brady, he's one of the greatest of all time as well. Steelers, their defense is not on the level that they've been at, like not the Steel Curtain era, but they've got a really young secondary. Like their first and second round pick from the last draft is starting for them. So I feel like Tom Brady, with his experience, with his savvy, he's gonna exploit those young corners. Even though the Patriots' defense may not be as strong as they've been in previous years, they're still very experienced. So I'm going Tom Brady and the Patriots 27-19.
And this will conclude our show, but we first want to talk about we're about to order some T-shirts. We have short sleeve for $12, long sleeve for $15. If you want a shirt, just contact anybody on the Roundup staff, and we'll be happy to hook you up. We also want to talk about there's a possibility that we're going to have a mystery phone call later in the week from a former Macaulay student and that's a surprise we have for y'all. It's going to be something I think everybody's going to watch or going to want to watch. So hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.